Hey everybody, back again for some unusual whales platform education. In this video, we're going to cover one of the more important but often overlooked unusual whales tools, the Chain and Open Interest Explorer. Now, we often discuss the importance of the relationship between volume and open interest. The way we confirm opening trades on a day with volume is the carryover into the open interest. For example, did 1,000 contracts transact followed by 500 more contracts? Is that all new positioning, or did they close half of that original 1,000 contracts? We confirm questions like this the following morning by checking to see if all of that volume carried over into the open interest. And one of the best ways that we can keep track of shifting open interest is with the Open Interest Explorer. To start us off here, the Open Interest Explorer is divided into two sections. The chain open interest changes, which we have on the screen now, and the ticker open interest changes. The chain open interest change shows changes in open interest to individual contracts. This is where we're going to start. Now, as I said, the Chain Open Interest Explorer tracks individual contract chains across the entire market. You can organize your feed any way you'd like. If you want to see which chains had the highest percentage change in open interest, you can click on that column. This is able to be sorted ascending and descending. If you want to see how much open interest change happened in the raw format, meaning how many contracts carried over, you just click on that column. Now, one thing I want to touch on here really quick about sorting by open interest change via a percentage. Sometimes it can look a little misleading as to what really is or is not a significant open interest change. If we look here at the image I have on screen, ticker RM had a 387% open interest change day over day. But if you look over to the previous open interest column, they went from 45 to 219 open interest. That means, as you can see in the open interest change raw column, they only had 174 contracts transact. Not really that impressive. Now, directly below that, ticker APGE had an open interest change percent of 300%. Now, looking at the previous open interest, they had 334, and their open interest is now 1,336, which means a 1,000 contract change. That's a little bit more interesting than 174. So that's just one thing to keep in mind when you're looking through the ticker open interest changes. Now, just like the flow feed filters, you can narrow your search by individual tickers, such as Apple, or multiple tickers separated with a comma. You can limit your feed to just puts or just calls or both, and select which equity types you want to show up in this feed. You can also fine-tune the previous chain activity by choosing the percent of the open interest was built at the ask, or the bid, or the skew of one way toward the other. You can also hone in on the previous and current open interest values, raw values, such as this organization we did in the column earlier. Here you can also filter by what percentage the open interest shifted going into the next market day when open interest updates. In this example, we'll set this to 1. This means that any chains that show up in this feed will have a change of 100% or more in the open interest. Here you can also select the percent out of the money that these contracts were. So for example, if we set this to 0.05 to represent 5%, any contracts that come in will be at least 5% away from the underlying stock price For example, if you have a stock that's trading at $100 per share, for call contracts, only strikes of $105 or higher will show up. For puts, only contracts with $95 strikes or lower will come into this feed. Now, this feed will display the daily open interest change as displayed here in this drop-down, but you can change it to display the historical open interest changes as well. This will allow you to see the open interest changes over time rather than just the one-day change. Here you can select between the 3-day view, the 5-day view, all the way up to 10 days. To get a better understanding of all of the filters that you can set up for the Chain OI Changes pages, check out the video I'll leave in the description that'll walk you through how to build a filter and what each of those filters mean. The Ticker OI Changes page functions in the exact same way as the Chain OI page, except this includes all options chains for an individual ticker. You can still filter this page in the same manner that you can filter the chains page, and within each ticker there's a drop down here that shows you which options contracts are making up those changes in the open interest. You can do this for any of the visible tickers. Any chains that you visit will also be documented in the options contract lookup page. On the contract lookup page, you can navigate to the highest options chains and tickers by open interest. You can also view this full options contract summary and historical summary within this page, just like you can by clicking on the expiration date from the flow feed. Within the contract lookup, you can search for tickers and view the chains by the highest volume. For example, we'll look at Apple here. This will pull up all of the highest volume options chains for the ticker. In this case, Apple, we have the $170 call with 69,859 volume on the day. And you can see this change in real time. Notice how the volume column is changing while we're talking. You can add any of these contracts to your recently viewed by clicking on the plus sign next to them, and you'll see them populate over here in your recently viewed column. You can also search for individual chains. So here, if I want to look at the $172.5 call for April 26th, 2024, all you have to do is fill out this at the top, choose your expiration date, choose whether it's a call or a put, choose the strike you want to view, and click this little plus sign. That'll take us directly to that option summary view we just spoke about. All right, everyone, that wraps it up for this one. I hope this helped you to learn how to better understand the open interest changes and how to navigate the contract lookup. Be on the lookout for the next Unusual Whales educational video and have a great rest of your day.